Good Sunday morning, my friends. So I'm socked in a bit. I'm still without a car, and so it's left me a lot of time that I'm not used to having. Frankly, I haven't been doing all my usual activities except for my meditating and you know actually researching. I do a lot of research. I mean, in the sense that I listen to a lot of information from people that have information that interests me. And I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and that is that I really want to put out content that my viewers want to hear about. So I pay attention. I pay very, very close attention to thumbs up, thumbs down, what what gets the most views. And honestly, I can't quite make sense of it. I'm just gonna say it like it is. Like one of mine got quite a few, and it got a thumbs down and zero thumbs up, but it got about 65 views, and I can't figure out why. I mean, like I wonder if there are like these features to them, like what is it? Is it my the way I do my hair, or what I'm wearing, or like I don't know, because it was like an update one, and it didn't it wasn't like one of my favorite videos. I don't know. It's like the weirdest thing. I know that my subject matter is not as like I don't know. It's not as intriguing as a lot, and I'm not here to like tell people necessarily what to do. I feel like a lot of times people watch videos because they actually want someone to tell them what to do. I think. I mean, I know that that's something that I would watch certain YouTubers for, like because I get something out of their content. I get something out of their story. I get something out of their story. Um, I got another David Icke, or is it Ike? It's Icke. He's British, and he's just utterly fascinating to me. I watched his video about his awakening. They called it like his awakening, and he's been at this for 30 years, which really, I mean, he's been at this a long time. I'm like, wow, in this like altered state, like this altered way of being on the planet. And when I watched this video, I had so much in common with this guy. I mean, I sent him a couple of emails. I have not yet to hear back from him. I mean, I hope I do, because I would just adore having a conversation with him, because my experiences were very similar. They were very, very, very similar. Um, and so it was so nice to have somebody else share these. Like a lot of people, and they called him crazy, just like me. He got called crazy, just like I've been called crazy. And the thing about it is when you're in this mindset, like you can't not be in the mindset. So you can't, there's no going on with business as usual. You are changed. You are different. You are just different. I'm so different. But anyway, so I was so excited, you guys, because I talk about all these like really, really wild ideas. And one of them being the idea that two things that are seemingly separate and cannot both be true at the same time can be true at the same time. Like I had this experience happen once where one of my best friends and I, we had read something, or we were doing something, reading directions or something, and we were reading them, and we both got different things. We got different ideas from what we were reading, but they were both true. They were both true. They were both valid, and they were both true. And so like this idea that that two things can coincide at the same time that seemingly cannot be true, but are indeed true. This is the thing that I know for absolute certainty, that the nature of reality is not as we have been taught it is. We are the creators of our reality. Everyone is creating their reality. We are actually creating a collective reality as well. But anyway, I got this a couple of days ago. I got this from a guy, George, I think Corey, and he does this YouTube channel called Coast AM. Coast to Coast AM. And the other day, I wasn't able to watch it when I got it, so I what I've been doing recently is I've been emailing them to myself and watching them later because I don't want to lose them. I'm like afraid I might lose this, and this is fascinating. Anyway, what it says is the Earth is really two planets occupying the same space and time. So the Earth is really two planets occupying this same place and time. I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole thing, but what I listened to was utterly fascinating. They were talking about how these two planets like collided and formed into one, and they were saying something about the planet being flooded and that the people had to go in hiding for a period of time and um, and I didn't get to finish it, and I will finish it, but it's sort of like it's a little bit similar to my theory about lifetimes or time frames coinciding all at the same time. Because in essence, if there is no past and no future, and everything is an ever-present now, then even though we can't see it, and there's 7 billion of us on this particular time and space, quote unquote, reality dimension maybe. But if there's infinite dimensions, maybe there are these infinite like time frames all happening at the same time. It's so fascinating. Like we think it's all like this consecutive, like this time happens, this time happens, this time happens, and this time happens. But maybe the time happenings are all happening at the same time, but we just can't see it. We just can't see it. Anyway, it's also fascinating. What's coming to mind also for me is this idea that I know I've expelled, and I really haven't talked about it as much at length as I plan to. Because I have had a lot of people that have passed in my life and have gone on to wherever people go when they are not in their physical bodies. I've had quite a few people, very significant and close people to me, pass away into another seeming dimension. And I've had this theory. I've often thought about this. Just why is it like that? Why is it that a person passes away and then they're just gone and we're not going to see them for seemingly 50, 70 years until we pass and go into their dimension? Why is it like it? Why would it be set up that way? It's just so weird to me. It's so weird to me. But we collectively believe this. This is what we believe. We believe that when somebody passes, they go to the next life, and that there is this veil, there is this separation between those who are in other dimensions and us. But I've been sharing, I don't even know, because I share in so many different, like, that I don't even know what I'm sharing on anymore. But there are some people who I believe can see people who have gone into the next life. I really believe in that. I think that there's a lot of fraud out there as well, but I think that there are some people who legitimately can do that. And I'm not entirely sure that if our belief system was different, that we wouldn't be able to see in more than one dimension. I think seeing in infinite dimensions would be too much for our brain. But I'm so I'm not entirely sure. I feel like our brain was set up the way it was so that we could actually function. Because I mean, if you can imagine seeing everything that's out there, if there's infinite dimensions and everything that is out there, if we could see all of it, we would just be we would just be like um, we would really be having a hard time functioning. So so I'm wondering if it won't be long before we're actually able to see them. We're able to see people who have passed. Like I had talked a little bit about like Jesus and how he came back to see his disciples. I feel like this was really, really, really significant. But it's like, generally speaking, do we see people who have passed? Like, no, not necessarily. But I feel like that is more a factor of our belief about it than it is about if we have the capacity. So I'm not entirely sure where we're going with this. So anyway, I have more coming out in this video than I I don't know. Anyway, I'm just really excited. I'm excited about this material. I'm excited about what is the potential for us in our future. And it's all based on our beliefs. So if we believe that all possibilities, because it says with God, all things are possible, right? All things are possible with God. Anyway, so I'm going to go now. I love you guys. I'll be back.